Hey, good morning, folks. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Thanks for joining me on the morning MLive weather update. We're going to talk about the rain today. Boy, and I got an interesting email today from Martin in South Haven. He read my headline and it said something about hopefully a much needed rainfall for parts of Michigan. And I didn't think it was real nice, but he's like, needed? We need rainfall? Haven't you seen how wet it is this spring? And he's writing from South Haven. He just read the headline. He didn't read the article where I said it's hard to believe in the UP, Western UP, and southwest corner of lower Michigan that we need rain. But on the east side of the state, we are, I would call it drought status. We're not officially in it yet, although they lag by about a week, but I think we're in drought status. We've had 0.2 of an inch of rain twice at my house since Memorial Day. So we'll talk about the rain. It's not a sure bet cure for the dryness everywhere. Some places will get some help. It's not the greatest. Hey, D. Paul, see, you're saying you need rain in southeast Michigan too, so you agree. Then we're going to talk about the heat coming, and we're going to talk about the extended heat, where the pattern is starting to really shine for what's going on in July. And let me just tell you, it's a sizzler, okay? So let's get to it here, and we'll start off with the radar, the current radar. And there it is, showers through the center part of the state. I always want to caution you that these composites that take several radars and put them together generally look like there's heavier rain than what it is. And one of the best ways to see that is then go down to an individual radar and you see the larger area of yellows on the composite don't show up as well on just the individual radars, but there will be some showers, okay? And maybe a thunderstorm or two. Here is the radar forecast, and this also makes things look a little hotter and heavier into the future. So really, to get a good rain, you have to have the oranges, which you would think would be thunderstorms, but that's just a solid rainfall. So let's go through 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, spreading into the Saginaw Valley, 1 o'clock there, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and the low pressure center should be right about here then, and then there could be a line of thunderstorms, a second line. That would be the hope for help into the thumb. Probably not severe, but something to keep an eye on. Hey, good morning, Warren. And Frona lives in Florida. It's the rainy season there. And then by the time we get to 7 o'clock, it's just a few thunderstorms on the thumb, and we are done with the rainfall. This also illustrates a real good principle. Hey, good morning, Eugenia Jerema. This also illustrates a real good weather principle. In the middle of the day in the summer, showers and storms have a tough time holding together. It's just the opposite of late afternoon and evening. So if you have showers coming and you need rain, and it's coming 10, 11 o'clock, noon, 1, 2, guess what? The sun is up on top of those clouds, and it's drying the clouds up, and it's weakening the rain system. So that's what we're going to have. Take the radar right now, cut it in about half of its intensity and aerial coverage by noon, and that's what you get. Now, it would be a totally different story. If it was 4 to 8 in the afternoon and evening, it would be on the upsurge. And early in the morning, things are on the upsurge too. So for the dry areas, this 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. rainfall that's expected is not the best idea. Rainfall amounts, I'll try to help you pick out things here. Here you can see Mackinac Island, Saginaw Bay, the thumb, southern border, Lake Michigan. So where that shower activity is going now, you could have up to 2 inches. And then on the east side of the state, it's spotty. It's probably at least 2/10 in most places, with the individual thunderstorms making over a 1/2 inch to maybe near an inch. But my point being there is in this dry part of eastern Michigan, it's not a total cure rainfall what we have coming. Some people will get lucky, some people will have just enough to keep things going, and you'll have to keep the garden hose in your hand. Any rain in Ann Arbor, you're going to be kind of on the whim of this line of thunderstorms that develops in the afternoon. Okay, the showers this morning are going to stay up here, but you'll have to get that thunderstorm to come through, and it could be a gully washer that drops an inch, or you could be just on the verge of it. Okay. Rainfall or high temperatures today will be comfortable because of the clouds around. Warmest will be up across the UP with more sunshine, 80 degrees. Otherwise, temperatures look for them in the mid 70s. Then we'll look extended, okay? And this is going to show you what we have going on. Let me just give you a scenario here. In June, it was warmer than normal June. We had a couple of hot days followed by cool downs of 4 to 5 days. I think July, we're going to flip that. July is going to be a hot July. When you compare it to the average temperature, we're probably going to average 4 to 6 degrees warmer than normal. That's hot, not extreme. Extreme would be 8 to 10 degrees warmer than normal. That would be, say, close to a record-setting July. Probably not that hot, but if it goes one way, it goes that way, and probably not the cooler. So what we have in July now and coming up the next several weeks is we flip-flop that pattern instead. Okay, sorry. We get 4 to 5 hot days, and then we get a couple of day cool down. And this will show it. Okay, here we go. Hey, Greenville, send us some of your rain over here on the east side of the state. So this is Friday, and we're into the southwesterly flow. And remember, this line right here, plus 24 Celsius at 5,000 feet, that's 90s. Okay, that's arriving late Friday, so we may not get way into the 90s Friday, but this is Saturday, and that is just a hot pattern. It's what we call a capped atmosphere. But it breaks down pretty quickly for one of those two-day cool downs that I talk about. Okay, so Sunday, now the trend has been looking showery and thunderstormy. That's Sunday. The front moves through, and notice our temperatures here go down to plus 18, plus 15. That drops us back into the 80s. Okay, but what I want you to notice then is that here comes the heat once again. And by probably by the 4th of July, we're back to the 90s. Here is a look at the temperatures, okay? This is Thursday's high temperatures. Friday coming up here. Friday, upper 80s to low 90s. I think that might be 2 degrees too cool. We might be into the 90s. Saturday's high temperatures continues to show a post I'm going to write about. Alpena in this kind of pattern is typically the hottest spot in the state. But we're well into the 90s. Most spots probably mid 90s. Okay, here's Sunday. In the south, you won't get the relief. In the north and west, in the shower activity, you'll get some relief, but it'll still be very humid. And then let's just briefly go into next week and show you this trend once again. Here's Monday, and there's your little cool down into the 80s, the 70s along the shoreline. And then we go into Tuesday, and we're back up about 5 degrees. And then we go to the 4th of July, and we're back up into the 90s in places. And we go to the 5th of July, and we're into the 90s, and again, some spots flirting with 100 degrees. And So there you have it. Some showers, a few thunderstorms today. Some help, but need more rainfall. And the southwest corner that's flooded, the UP that's flooded, you'll probably skip the heavy rainfall, so that's good news for you. Then the heat comes in, and it is a scorcher for Friday and Saturday. It's very warm and humid for Sunday, a little cooler for Monday, and then the heat builds right back in. So my friends, if you feared a cold summer, you will be wrong, okay? Hopefully you stuck with me, and weather doesn't work like that. I'm just going to tell you, weather doesn't work. You know, what has happened will happen, and it doesn't work the opposite always. Because it was one thing, it'll flip-flop and balance out and be the other thing. A lot of farmers, I have a lot of farmer friends, a lot of farmer clients, they believe in that. It does happen over time that it averages out, because that's what climate is, kind of an average of all of our weather. But it's not so verbatim that if May was super wet, June will be super dry, and vice versa. Call it a hot July. Get ready for it. Prepare. Enjoy your summer. We'll talk to you later. We'll talk to you tomorrow. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa.